podcasting, a steamy reality TV show, and vitamin-infused chocolates. Sarah Hyland may no longer be a weekly presence on our TV screens, but that doesn't mean she's completely disappeared from the spotlight. Throughout the filming of Modern Family, Sarah Hyland appeared to her fans as if nothing was wrong. But behind the scenes, Hyland was dealing with a serious health issue that made working on the show incredibly difficult. Hyland was born with kidney dysplasia, which led to her having 16 surgeries throughout her life.
Most of the surgeries that I had were before I was 4.
These surgeries included not 1, but 2 kidney transplants. While working on the series, she received her first kidney transplant from her father at the age of 21. Unfortunately, the first one failed, so 5 years after it was placed, she received a second kidney from her brother. Fortunately, the second kidney is working well, but through it all, Hyland underwent a great deal of pain. During an appearance on the Quitters podcast, Hyland revealed what she went through, saying, "There are some episodes of Modern Family where I do not remember filming because I was asleep, dead-ass asleep. I'd be on the set, we'd be filming, I'd be dead asleep, my head on the table." At the beginning of her work on Modern Family, Hyland was dating fellow actor Matt Prokop, who shared the screen with her on Geek Charming. The two began seeing one another in 2011 and remained together for several years. That relationship ended in 2014 over Hyland's allegations of physical and verbal abuse. Hyland was able to obtain a restraining order over her claim that Prokop choked her. There were other horrific accusations as well levied against Prokop, including a threat he made to her dog. If there was any doubt of Prokop's guilt regarding Hyland's accusations, they were dispelled in 2024 when he was arrested for assaulting another girlfriend. Prokop's career effectively ended following the news of his abusive behavior to Hyland. For Hyland, she fared far better after splitting from Prokop. During an appearance on the Meredith Vieira show, she even discussed overcoming adversity, saying,
"People have to go through things in order to become the person that they are today. And that's that."
Since Modern Family went off the air in 2020, Hyland's career in front of the camera has somewhat diminished. However, she has appeared in several commercials since then. Her commercial acting has run the gamut of companies, including Taco Bell, Domino's Pizza, Nintendo, Jeep, and several others. Her Taco Bell spots are particularly funny and creative. In a 2021 spot for the restaurant, she plays a character in a horror spoof called The Craving, which is all about selling Taco Bell's then newly added menu item, nacho fries. Fans are often interested in how celebrities find their matches and get married, and Hyland's story is truly tantalizing. Unlike almost everyone else in the world, Hyland found her future husband on The Bachelorette. Hyland was never a contestant, but Wells Adams was. Adams appeared on the show in 2016, during JoJo Fletcher's season. Hyland was immediately interested in Adams, so they shared some flirtatious tweets on X. They didn't begin dating immediately, and Adams went on to appear in Bachelor in Paradise before things between them elevated. Eventually, Adams slid into her DMs. Hyland explained on Jimmy Kimmel Live that Adams reached out to her and said,
"Like next time I'm in LA, I'm taking you out for like drinks and tacos."
That line worked because Hyland loves tacos, and the two began dating soon after. Things progressed, and Adams proposed in July 2019. The wedding took place on August 20th, 2022, with Hyland's friend and former co-star Jesse Tyler Ferguson officiating. One reason you may not have seen much of Hyland in recent years is that she's been the victim of online bullying. When a celebrity is bullied in the manner Hyland was, it's not uncommon for them to leave social media for a while, which is what the former Modern Family started. Hyland's 14-year-old cousin was killed by a drunk driver in December 2018, which hit the actor incredibly hard. She lashed out on X at the driver, Jeffrey Egling, calling him a murderer. Hyland established a GoFundMe campaign to raise funds for funeral and medical expenses for her cousin. The fund was a huge success, raising over $45,000. Because of her celebrity status, however, a lot of people posted that she should pay for everything. Hyland was so fed up with the harassment that she decided to leave the platform in December 2018. However, she eventually returned. Hyland previously endured a lot of online bullying over her appearance on Modern Family. Because of her medical condition, the actress appeared to wear a wig, and people took notice, though she actually wore hair extensions. People also lashed out at her about her weight, not knowing it was due to a serious medical condition. Toward the end of 2021, Hyland co-founded a company called Source, which sells vitamin-infused chocolates. The actress came up with the idea for the chocolates, and before the products hit store shelves, she said, "I have poured my heart and soul into creating this sweet treat with wellness in mind, and can't wait for my friends and family and the rest of the world to upgrade their health and beauty routines with these tasty vitamins." Part of the reason Hyland got involved in making vitamin-infused chocolates was her own health issues. She's been outspoken about her condition for years, and transitioning into the vitamin marketplace made sense to her. A few years after launch, Source products were made available at Sephora, which can be found in many Kohl's locations nationwide. If there's one thing that's become almost a standard for celebrities, it's podcasting. While Hyland does not have her own podcast, she did star in one, Bone Mary Berry. Hyland plays Allie in the podcast, a 26-year-old woman who's been dumped, fired from her job, and booted from her place. It's a tough time for Allie, so she decides to attend a New Year's Eve party. However, the party proves to be more than she expected because after a month, Allie will have boned, married, and buried 3 people who were at the party. It's an unusual take on the classic F*** Marry Kill game people often play with celebrities. Bone Mary Berry is a far more creative take on the premise, and Hyland's exceptional performance as the series star takes the listener through a reverse mystery, where you already know the outcome and need to figure out how it comes to fruition. While most people likely know Hyland for her work on Modern Family, she's never limited herself to the small screen. She played Howard Stern's daughter in 1997's Private Parts and has continued working in the medium ever since. Throughout her time on Modern Family, Hyland worked in a variety of films, including Spanglish, Scary Movie 5, and others. Hyland's career on the silver screen didn't come to an end just because she finished her work on Modern Family. She landed a leading role in 2022's My Fake Boyfriend, playing Kelly in the rom-com. My Fake Boyfriend was the first movie Hyland made after Modern Family ended, but it wasn't her last. She will appear in The Token Groomsman, which is another rom-com. That film began pre-production in 2024. Since Modern Family came to an end, Hyland's television workload has decreased, but it hasn't disappeared altogether. In 2022, Hyland appeared opposite her former Modern Family romantic interest, Andy Bailey, played by Adam Devine, in Pitch Perfect Bumper in Berlin.
Yeah, I am cool, right? Right?
The series revolves around Devine's Bumper, who appeared in the Pitch Perfect film franchise. Hyland plays a songwriter named Tidy, and after Bumper's latest track becomes a hit in Berlin, the two begin working together. The series, which streams on Peacock, was a hit with audiences, scoring a 72% on Rotten Tomatoes popcorn meter. Hyland's work on the show ended, but she's still working on TV. She began working with Emily V. Gordon on an unnamed TV series for ABC that entered development in 2019, though it's unclear when it'll hit the airwaves. Almost all of Hyland's work has involved scripted television or movies, but in 2022, she landed a job that was entirely different from the work she'd done before. Fresh off the set of Modern Family, Hyland became the host of Love Island USA during the series' 4th season. Hyland joined the show when it was picked up for streaming on Peacock. During her time as host, Hyland focused on the interactions between the women competing on the show. After filming the 5th season, however, Hyland left the show. On X, the actress wrote that scheduling conflicts were the reason behind her exit. Early in her career, Hyland worked in the theater, performing in Great Gardens on and off Broadway. While she cut her teeth in the theater, she was simultaneously working in television and feature films. Her final performance in Great Gardens came in 2007, and it would be nearly 2 decades before her return. In 2024, Hyland landed the role of Audrey in an off-Broadway production of Little Shop of Horrors at the West Side Theater. She said during an appearance on Today with Hoda and Jenna, During her appearance, she described how when she was a child, she ran into problems performing because she couldn't perform a cartwheel, which cost her several roles. While it's unclear if she can pull off a cartwheel these days, it must not have been a problem for her in landing the role of Audrey. And even though her run on the show ended in September 2024, it's likely this won't be the last time we see her on stage.